Welcome to the Time Patrollers podcast, where we take a shift from the temporal rifts. Today we're going to talk about the patch notes. It's Maintenance Day. It's Maintenance Day on the day we're recording this. I think the March 29th. Trying to get to you episodes more fresh off our recording, so the news is fresh. So Maintenance Day today. Apparently, Mount Frypan's broken. They sent a tweet like a few minutes ago saying that the Mount Frypan is indestructible right now, and that's just great. Like, at least it'll increase the survivor's win rate, I guess.
Is it the indestructible saying like it can survive the key blast from the raider, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the raider can't break it right now. And that's really bad, because that means they're locked in a cave or something. Like poor cells in a hole.
If you get 4 people who have that ability, you can make a box, and they cannot get out. They cannot get out of that box.
Just take it simple. Just do a triangle.
Oh yeah, you could get 3, and then they can't get out.
Yeah, geometry. Get him the Mr. T and Tri-Beam. But yeah, it's indestructible by some raiders' Key Blast and Super Attack. So it says specifically some raiders. This is probably gonna be relevant by the time this launches, but still funny. I want to laugh about it right now. So I don't know, Frieza. It might be even third raiders transformations. I don't know, but what a weird bug.
Very strange.
But speaking of affecting win rates, one of the things that we got from the patch notes is win rates. So the overall match results right now, the survivors are losing the war. We are getting our asses kicked. We are at the 8% down rate on our victories, at 42% for survivor victories, while a like whopping 57.3 on the Raider side. On specifics of the pie chart that's shown, 22% of that's a total victory, and 4% of that is a partial victory where survivors escape. So that's interesting. Definitely, I blame Vegeta. I think we can both easily just blame Vegeta on this one. From racing games, he's hard, especially for newer players getting involved and getting the rate of battle. Like we talked about last time, it's a more kind of, you want to save your energy sparingly, try to kill Nappa when you have the chance and find those openings. But we'll go over that in a second, because I read the statistics I think last night, and there seems to be like, it might be a correlation on some things, but then statistics class told me correlation doesn't equal causation. But so the survivor's survival rate. So this is within the percentage of the 43% of our survival rate as a survivor. I say ours because for me, I play only survivor, and I don't think Nick has really played much of the game, because again, playing solo kind of not as fun, and you're playing solo survivor trying to get raiders kind of like annoying.
I really do hate playing Survivor. It's not as fun doing it. I do like playing as the Raider more often, but I just don't want to do the wait queue and stuff. And if I have to play by myself, it's just not fun. I do like being Raider with friends, and it just is more fun when you play with friends as the Raider.
Yeah, like to each their own, but it's understandable. So with this chart, total survivor victory, that means we kicked the Raider's ass and defeated him, not the Super Time Machine startup. That is at 24.3%. A survivor victory of the Super Time Machine is at 12%, and survivors successfully escaped.
The remaining survivors.
With only remaining survivors, so that means just an escape Time Machine instead of Super Time Machine, is at 11%. So from this chart, to me, it seems like with survivor victory, because remember, this is the total from the previous pie chart. Out of the 43% or so, this is what the cut is for our survival rate. And so total victory is when the Raiders defeated, and that is pretty much doubled in any of the other outcomes. So on paper, that means
it's getting the Raiders getting their ass beat, but it's few
there's a snowball effect, it seems.
Lower in the game, it seems like only a couple survivors who are left are getting the benefit. You know what I mean? Probably they're already dead, but there's people that do the clutch, like a clutch play and destroy them. So you're still getting that victory of killing, you know, the raider. So, but that I've seen a lot of. You know what I mean? The time machine is always a thing that it does make sense. That's like the second highest, but only 12. But that's a big gap from 24 to 12 in the percentage. It's like, I wonder what raiders they're going against. Maybe they're doing that strat, you know, with Vegeta, where they kind of just keep Nappa in the air and kind of wait till he comes down, or when he goes straight to Vegeta, they all just dogpile on Vegeta. Like the remaining few, right? That's the survival total, right? When the raider gets defeated with just the remaining survivors, right? So.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because, like, it's just steamroll some way, which, honestly, those types of games aren't as fun for me. Like, when we steamroll the killer, like, it can be entertaining, but if it happens too often out of most of our wins, it's that pattern you get. I think the game spices off mostly when we're at the time machine phase, where we're fighting for our lives. It's a real close battle. You know, like, the buzzer beater, like, Raider's about to destroy the time machine, but also it's about to fully refill.
Yeah.
It's not bad. So, and it's probably the most fun of a game, so hopefully they can balance it more towards that direction, and also, you know, increase our win rate. Like, I'm not complaining, because, like, at least my games, I've been getting those dubskis, like, on personal, like, being follow, and that we do get. But yeah, like, especially during that double Zenny, that Saiyan Day Zenny. Oh, that was some good stuff. That was like 10k per win, almost. It's over 9,000, baby.
It's crazy though. It's only 11% though for surviving successful escape. So that's like them taking the small pod, right? Escape pod. I thought that would be way higher, but I guess people are more just defeating the raider. I wonder if we're seeing a more.
Order died.
Yeah, probably. Like,
yeah, or everyone's just dead.
Maybe the more percentage is death. They should put the death total on here too. Like, just
yeah. Like, freaking Grade 8 Vegeta is he flies so fast.
Big Monkey Vegeta, you know, with the win rate on each raider, there's a big leap from each individual raider. You can see which one gets used a lot here, where Vegeta has his raider total victory is 24.9%, and the raider victory with survivors escape is only 37.3, which is very crazy to me. So that means people are just escaping. They're like, we don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, we're out. Yeah, because it's sometimes it's too visible of, like, your difference, and I can understand that. Because part of it, yes, it's a teamwork game, and you guys should, like, in whole, make sure you calculate your possibilities and know what, like, when to stay too as well, not just when to leave. Because if people are working together, then bam, like, that teamwork makes the dream work in most of these games. And I think that's the magical part about it, is that we can have a varied thing, and each individual skill, like, it shows, and they can present certain things to the table than others. I remember one of the games we played, I forgot what their name was, these players, but there was these two guys, and they were just like the Goku Vegeta team up, and their power alone, just the two of them left, like, knocked down the Frieza or Vegeta, I think, almost to nothing. Like, them working together, like, alone, like, ripped the Raider a new hole. If they had some effort from, like, another player, that because the rest of the players used to escape time machine or were dead. Like, I think there was at least 3 other players. Those two alone kicked the Raiders' booty cheeks. But like if the rest of the people were there with them, man, it would have been amazing. Like, I would have stayed with them, but I was dead. I got ghosted by Tiga Vegeta. Probably a Cyberman took me or something early game.
I mean,
but the ratios are weird. It's really weird that Cell's actually lowest. See me? But I feel like that, at least personally, that for these charts, for the win rate of each raider, is more of a skill issue. I think because more veteran players are playing Vegeta, And that's what I mentioned about like possible skewing and what I bring up after is that more veteran players are playing Vegeta because they've had to front the Raiders. So newer players are probably playing a more mixed bag. So Cell's like baby's first Raider. At least if you don't know how to change the Raider settings, sometimes you don't, and then like switch your Raider, you'll auto lock his Cell, and it's like and he's just like, if a new player against like people in like 80s 90s, that guy's gonna get slapped. They have to learn the hard way. That's why I believe that's why this is skewed this way. Like more veterans are playing Vegeta. Frieza though, like Frieza's kind of been cracked all the time.
I find it crazy that there's not more Frieza wins. There's a lot more Boo wins with his 24.8%, right? And
for a total. Well, that's because Boo like steamrolls. It's the risk rewards. So once he gets to like 3,
it's game over.
And by God, even 4. Into like moving into 4, that's practically game for him. That's a super time machine win for the survivors. That's all they have to have left. Because he's hard to contest.
You can see, like, I feel like Boo is probably the most even, because like it's 24 his victory, and then 29% for Raider victory or like survivors escaped. And so it seems like there's a balance where like people can either Boo can be very difficult or very easy, depending on how you handle him. Frieza just seems to be like the winning is only 20%, but there's a lot of victories though for the.
Like, to be honest, looking at the percentage straight on, Cell is the closest to 50%. Even though he has less than 50%, he is the closest. He's at 30.7% for his Raider victory, and then total victory at 19.1. So that's a total of 49.8. So that's like a 0.2% off from a perfect 50, which assumably the devs are trying to strive for is a 50-50 win rate. Like, you want it to be fair on both sides.
I think it's like most with Cell, I feel like the victory come from either getting him in the beginning, like Boo, like when he's Spotovich, or just kind of getting him in his second, like third phase. His third phase is like the weakest one with his Kamehameha. It's probably like the third is like the weakest phase he has, because that Ki Blast ain't gonna hit anyone unless they're very skilled with that Ki Blast. But yet again, his evolution rate is really fast. So I mean, it's very beginner friendly. It seems like it's probably like the lowest winning one, but it's the easiest to handle. So,
but the team that does this in Bandai Namco, they say that these rates have been consistent so far. Victory rate for Raider 57%, and survival rate, not victory rate, is around 48%. So that's why it's not even or equates to 100. It's survival. And then on the other hand, they also deserve that survivors have a tendency to select certain skills, which is honestly a really weird phrasing. So they are trying to adjust parameters on existing skills, in addition to adjusting Raider's abilities, which is weird. Like, this is the first patch of the season, so I understand like it's all bug fixes, which we're gonna go into right now. So they haven't done any actual balance.
Yeah, it's
balancing.
The dumbest thing when they say like, "Oh, we see that survivors are picking like the best skills." Like, yeah, no, duh. Because that is the strat.
Well, it's not even the best. They just say certain, and I'm like, what does that even mean? I'm pretty sure they're like
what the what's that one thing that was broken last season? That air thing where people were doing hops so they can kind of get speed and move around the map.
Oh yeah, the
a lot of people were picking those. A lot of people were picking certain ones, like Bulma's bike. It's like, yeah, they're gonna pick these certain things because they're really broken and cracked. You're gonna see a lot of people get IT. Because IT is pretty good to get out of a situation or travel to another opponent. Like, do they not understand? Like, even Dead by Daylight has a certain people that pick certain skills because they're so freaking broken. Like, do they not know?
So I haven't played today, but like, that probably makes me a bit of a poser or whatever. But the patch came with some funny notes I'm looking at right now. One is slightly moved up the position of on-screen captions, which is, I think it's like the giant tag that comes up in the middle of the screen that says like the time machine has been started or something like that. That screwed me over
so many times.
That's a win. Like, I had to play the game and find out. But we gotta find out if that's like I believe that is definitely a win. Like, ugh, that thing has screwed so many people, and I don't know why. Like, I think when people pointed it out, it made it worse for me because I kind of ignored it for the most part. But people started pointing it out, and I'm like, oh god, this is actually really annoying when it comes up. But yeah, it's
speaking about that the mount Frypan, now can be it seems to be long range locked when locking on a player.
I don't get what that means.
I think that means like, you know, like when you have a key blast, you can kind of lock in a certain distance, right? So it kind of locks on. So I wonder if it means like because I don't think Frypan locks on as an attack. It's just something. Yeah,
it shouldn't. It's just like.
So I think what they're trying to do, if they're in the distance good enough, you can kind of lock on if they're in that distance and then hit it, because it'll hit the raider, and I don't know if it'll do damage because I don't use it.
It does not do damage to a raider. That'd be funny if it did, because it's literally a giant wall of
fire.
So
I'll knock it back, I guess, if you want to do that. So if you want to be like close to the raider, lock on to him while you're chasing him, so you then blast it. But I see it more as just use it freely. I don't get why they'll have it locked on, but
yeah, that was a weird one. Yeah, these are adjusted content we're talking about. Appearances of the escape time machine beam signal, so it's easier to see from distance, which I guess is fine. The new map kind of needs it because the newest map has a lot of high points in hills. Sometimes it might be hard to see. Reduces the time until Raider can move again, and skipping the animation that plays out the strength super time machine. That's kind of annoying because that means the Raider, you know, you're making the Raider a bit stronger that way by reducing their time until they can move again, versus making it longer or keeping it the same. Because the problem is right now is that the Raiders are winning
too much,
and you know, giving them that little edge is still like, wait, what?
This reduces
this other one. Another one that's kind of irrelevant.
The chance of Nappa and Vegeta will discover survivors in episode 2. But what the heck does that mean? Like,
in episode 2, Nappa and Vegeta will scout the area during it. It's really cool. If you guys haven't done it, there's a second episode that's like for the tutorial.
Oh yeah,
like off the prologue.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll get an emote for it. It's all good, but I think it's neat. I like the little story elements of it. It shows off the new DLC characters, and it's just that little like bit of care that's like a little fun to tie in with like the Xenoverse-esque lore kind of. But yeah, you can see for yourself it. But yeah, it's just really weird that, and I guess Nappa and Vegeta did lock on you from a far distance, but honestly, like, some people need to learn, you know?
They're that aggressive.
Like, he's coming from a mile away, and I'm like, oof. Like, it feels like an actual game when you're playing with a good player and they just notice you from a distance and it's like, hi. Oh no, they're coming for me.
That's fair enough.
So they fixed content. I don't want to go on too much because it's more kind of like boring or whatever. But some interesting ones are a Cyberman like self-destruct like passive would activate weird when you're doing a close range attack or something when you're getting grabbed. I think that has to do when you melee them in like I have to happen. I don't know if anyone else really has had it happen, but like your camera angle will go off during the Cyberman animation, and like it would you would see the floor, like the textured floor through it and stuff, the edge of it, of the box for that animation. It was weird. I think Sarbon and Nappa had issues when blowing up people's barriers or doing damage. It will not do damage. Cell has a better perfect command, attack range or whatever. Solar Flare and I think Charming Pose. Both those, their animations were not triggering, or their hitboxes were weird if you are above or below like a different height level than the survivor. So that's a good buff for both those things. It's specifically Cell's version of the what is it called again? Not Final Flash. I can't remember the name. The blinding one. Solar Flare. There it is. Yeah. So Cell's version is Solar Flare, and I don't think a Raider has Charming Pose, but we do. So yeah, they would just not hit on different height levels. So that's good. I guess an inadvertent buff to them, like for bug fixing. There's
also the fixed issue where the survivor used an action, skill, or super attack while the Raider was summoning Shenron. That's weird. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice, because then you would just kind of lose your energy for nothing, and yeah, it'll actually go through. So, and we've been having a lot more Raiders summon Shenron, and it's been awful. I don't want to blame players for throwing, but also like I think like raiders are more apparent or more like apparently using their dragon radars more often. We've had games where like the raider would not let up on a person with a Dragon Ball, and so they were most likely just using their radar and hunting them down. Yeah, so it's the gameplay cycle, but I guess with more raiders doing that was just an apparent like bug for them to prevent.
Ooh, this is an exciting one. I don't know if this is going to fix the problem that I have with this game right now, but this is another fix for adjustments and stuff. This is the fixes and adjustments to plan for the future updates. They're currently trying to adjust the raider role selectable on the role selection screen. So I wonder if that means anything. Yeah, like does that just mean? Does that just mean?
I think it should be. I think they mean by that is bringing Raider Queue back, because I think it's still selectable on the menu, but it doesn't work. It pretty much funnels you back into Flex Raider, because there was enough players like playing Survivor. So I guess they're trying to find a solution for that.
I wonder if that also means like they're trying to bring. They're probably gonna. It sounds like they're. To me, I'm just interpreting if they're gonna bring back Raider selection for the party when you're in a party, maybe, but maybe not. I hope
maybe that would be amazing.
It would be a great thing.
Yeah, like literally that's what everyone wants, because it just works for the game. We talked about it last time. I want to like beat a dead horse,
but that's just the big issue. That is a big issue that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, it is definitely like the issue. Like it separates it from being Dead by Daylight. Like people farming the game for free XP that way, they could just do other ways to stop them from gaining the XP, like when their lobby is too full. I don't know if that I don't know why that wasn't in like from the beginning. Like I think at 6 people it should like mitigate some XP gains or something.
Or just use the report function. Like if it's like you suspect people helping out the raider, report them. We've been reporting people who've noticed cheating and raiders that seem like they're glitching around. We reported them, so the function seems like it works, but we don't know if they get banned or anything. But just report them. If they're gonna implement this reporting system, then not use it and then just say, hey, let's just get rid of the role selection thing for friends being raiders. It's like, then that's not fun. Like you're excluding that one friend in the group who played this game, aka me, who loved being the raider.
Yeah,
and you're forcing me to be Survivor, which I don't even like playing Survivor. It's such it's so tedious. Like I don't care for being Survivor. It's fun, but not as fun as being the raider.
Yeah, that is just like I love Survivor, but I just hate the fact that like the lack of choice, the ability to choose and do stuff. And just the minimalistic effect of just like you only have this option or that. Like there's no broader effect, even though it looks like it. Like they just removed that ability, and it's like they added a bunch of other stuff, and then it's like, this one option also doesn't work right now because we don't have enough players playing Survivor, especially because it was launch time. Like people were trying to get Vegeta, so, and some people got a good like amount of Vegeta gains from that, and it sucked because people that were trying to be good boys and like do the normal like flex queue and stuff, they were just getting like stampeded by people who are like hard on the Raider queue. It was just a whole yikes situation. But yeah, with that though, that's all from the news stuff, at least from like recent news. The other one is Bardock, Gohan, and Super Saiyan 2 Goku were in the shop. Don't want to go over that too much because my gacha pulls are shit, and I couldn't get really much of the new stuff.
In my opinion, are always bad, dude. Like you need to fix that the pools. Like if you're gonna,
like the guaranteed stuff is nice, but they could do better.
You need more of a guaranteed if you're gonna.
But
pull 10.
We have.
That's just what I'm saying. You need a more guaranteed, higher percentage, even higher percentage when you're pulling 10. Because I want IT, but I can't get it because the pulls are shit. So. Yeah.
Real quick, just to brush over these real quick. First of all, yeah, like we don't have. There's no wiki page for this game. Someone please out there make a wiki for this. And I understand it's hard to do because we don't have all the abilities like readily available due to system, being the gacha system. So yeah, like someone should start logging these. But as far as information we can give you, just to brush on, if you don't know already, Scouter is just an active Scouter skill. You can use it whenever you want. Well, there's a cooldown, but it's reusable Scouter if you don't have to carry one around. And also it told us the caveat of if the Raider's power level, I think 2 or higher than 2, it will break on that. I don't think it will break the skill, but it'll just put it on cooldown immediately. But for the actual item, it will explode. It's kind of funny when it happens. Beyond Super Saiyan increases the overall HP of your transformation, which is pretty good. You can squeeze a few more super attacks, get more stuff done. And then Gohan Power Unleashed. He has the ability to give you an emergency transformation that is 1 level higher than your current level, or just if you're 3, it will just give you your 3 again. But it's an active skill that you will transform on the spot, and it is kind of separate than your actual normal change meter, which is pretty good. And I think that also affects our win rates lately because we got more skills that are oriented towards fighting the Raider. So if played well, you can kick the Raiders like but easier, like a whole power level. Even if you only get like 100 energy from it, is still a whole power level tier above the Raider. And if you are using it appropriately, you can milk that time. And then you can also transform, power down, and then transform again from the non-active skill, or vice versa, depending on what order you want. Because if you do it in the other way around, you're most likely going to get a bit of charge back during your second transformation.
Well, speaking of skills,
so yeah, just brushing up on those real quick because that's also like the relative news that came out.
Speaking of skills, what is the what is it? We're gonna call it what, the skill of the week or skill of the month? What do we want to call this?
Oh no, the skill of the episode.
Skill of the episode.
Yeah. The skill of the episode. My skill of the episode is IT. Speaking of what Nick's brought up, I know it's kind of cheap to use, but I've been using it a lot, and it sucks if you don't have it. I'm sorry, but I got lucky on that one. I can't get any like the odds and ends on the side. But yeah, so I've been using that one a lot. But for me, it's been Chi-Chi's delivery service. I will, if you see me, it's just Lin in game dressed as a Chi-Chi. If you see me in your game and you are, you hear an instantaneous transmission near you, you better stop and turn around and let me give you a soda, because that's usually what's happening. I will pay attention to I will stop, see someone's like level 2, maybe 3, because those are people that deserve sodas right now. They will have no energy. They just transform whatever, and they escaped or whatever from the Raider. I will stop, look at them, press the select button to check player names, try to find who that person is, what their name is, check back on the menu, and then on the bottom right, and then just track your name, IT to you, and then like drop like a soda and ping it. Maybe 2. Sometimes I have 2 for you guys. But yeah, I play more of a support oriented kit. And so, yeah, IT has been fun for not just those quick escapes, quick side tip, mix them out, Frypan, get caught in a cave, throw up a firewall, and then just IT out of there. Works like 80% of the time. May have been reduced to 60% because people have been getting wiser against it. But hey, at the right moment, it works. So sometimes, like, I know the Raider's around, I know he's gonna just find me, I don't even bother with theatrics. I charge up an IT and just wait. And then once it's ready, I wait till them to get like at the last second, just get into the cave and then just hit the button and head out right before the key blast hits me. It is just an overall good move. Like when they said certain abilities, I assume IT might be the one where they go like, we are going to nerf this skill. I hope not, because they did that to the pod, the Saiyan pod, and I feel like Saiyan pod should be lower than IT in all cases. Or right now, Saiyan pod's cooldown should be lower than IT because different forms of mass movement. But yeah, you IT to other people, you IT revive a person, you can IT to down allies. I've sometimes IT to get into the fight. I one time in one of our recent videos, I think, I'm not sure if it's in there, but I've IT'd in front of our ally. Actually, it was on the stream, I think. I've IT'd in front of our ally and like took a bullet from them, and it was funny from Boo. Yeah, like I will IT, like I see you guys fighting this guy, I IT up there just like Goku last minute and I transform and start kicking ass and taking names. It is great. But yeah, Chi-Chi's delivery service is definitely a fun tactic. Go around dropping sodas, carrying a senzu bean to get someone off the ground real quick. Normal stuff. Run into a Cyberman trap. That's the one. The one caveat is against like certain characters that will put things down if you don't know a drone like Zarbon, Dodoria, or a Cyberman's there. Like you will get caught in a bad situation. But yeah, those are only really like
I would say one
weaknesses.
downside though, major downside that I see when I see you instant transmission is the distance gauging. Because sometimes you instant transmissions and you think they're far away, but they're very close to you. I get that. It should be more obvious of how far the person you're trying to instant transmission to, because it just seems like it gets you all the time. Where
maybe show their auras or something. Maybe that might help.
Sometimes when you instant transmission, you get to someone, you're like, oh, this person's not close to the radar, or this person seems far enough from this attack that's going on. Then when you IT to them, they're too close, and they're like, oh, you're still in danger. Or like when you go to them, the raider's still close to them, and you didn't guess the distance between them. So I feel like they should show more when you instant IT to people, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, like show their auras. Maybe characters should have like a little distance meter over their head, or maybe only when you trigger the ability or something, to show them like proper distance, stuff like that. Like that's a good point. That'd be funny if you could ID civilians, but you would just get too much information off that. Like I think that's the biggest problem with Vegeta as well, that he just gets too much information from his Cybermen. Because they like telegraph like, hey, someone's nearby, even though they haven't triggered yet. Especially for an assignment form, like information is key sometimes. But yeah, like IT, use it for delivery, use it for saving lives, use it to get in the fight quick, use it to like help finish off that key real quick. Like everyone just rush the point when on the last key and just teleport to the guy, put the key while like someone's distracting the raider. All that is great, and there'll probably be more openings to use in the future. It's a very great tool just to get around, and something we've hoped for a long time, and so luckily season 2 brought that to us. That should be it for the podcast. Any last words, Nick?
No, but I do have to say, if you are watching and you do have a loadout you want to share with us, please leave that in the comments or anywhere you can leave a review. If you're listening to this on audio or anywhere you listen to podcast or wherever, just leave a review or comment. Tell us what you like about the game, or just what you use. We kind of like to see people's different loadouts, or complaints. I like to hear people complaining about this game as much as I like to complain about this game. So it's just a very fun time all around.
Leave a comment in the comment section. By all means, subscribe if you want more Breakers content. We do the normal Breakers series, and this podcast will be released every 2 weeks. So you'll get your Breakers news, some more information, and we love to talk about more builds. Next episode, we're hopefully gonna have a guest with us, and they'll go over those. And we want to show your clips, your great moments, your crazy escapes. Like some of them I've described, but sadly I didn't get them on footage, or at least didn't save that footage. So we would love to see your guys's nutty rocket launcher shots across the map, bugging Vegeta, preventing him from doing his stuff. Bullying Popovich, because that's always morally correct. While he's
just all around crazy things.
And then even if you're a raider too, I would love to see the bullied Spopovich, and then he just just comes back at the late game and just turns to Boo, eats everyone, gets his HP back. On my side, I would be like, that's disgusting, but oh my god, the comeback. Welcome that. We'll try to show off your stuff on here, and then any more information, we'll keep you guys up to date. And we're glad to hear we want to see what's our own statistics, what's our own certain abilities people are used, because obviously Bandai Namco's not telling us what those certain skills are. Like, they could be like secretly saying like, oh, all the people are dying are all using Yamcha's death pose or something. Yeah. But that's it for the podcast.
All right. Well, see you guys. You can find me at Real Nick Fly or Nick Fly wherever you go. And you can find
me at Henry Zoltan on Twitch.tv. I stream occasionally, and sometimes it's Breakers, and sometimes it's something else.
I've just been streaming anything, but I've been streaming Backyard Baseball. If you like that, come to my stream. If you like Breakers, go to Lynn's. It's all fantastic. It's all a good time. So goodbye, everyone, and let's have a nice time out. Goodbye. And stop.